What is up, everyone? So today I'm going to be going over the 10 essentials. This is a principle that was developed by the Boy Scouts of America way back when, and basically what the 10 essentials are, or the 10 pieces of gear that you need on you at all times when you're going out in the wilderness. It doesn't matter if you're on a canoe trip, if you're on a backpacking trip, or if you're rappelling down the side of a mountain. These are things that you always need to carry with you just in case emergency strikes, and the Boy Scouts motto is just, to always be prepared. So these are the items that you're going to need on you so that you are prepared. And they're called the 10 essentials because they're the bare essentials. Having the more gear that you have, the more prepared you're going to be, but these are the basics. So, number one, just a basic pocket knife. This is a Swiss Army knife, nothing special, has a few different tools on it: corkscrew, bottle opener, can opener, a pair of scissors. That'll give you a little bit more versatility than just a standard knife. So I like to carry, whenever I go out into the woods, I like to carry a Swiss Army knife or a Leatherman, something like that, just because it gives you a little bit more versatility. Number two, a first aid kit. This is a small first aid kit in a waterproof bag that'll basically keep any of your dressings, your Band-Aids, anything like that, dry in case you need to use them to absorb blood. Basically, this is a very small, personal-sized kit. This is for first aid for myself for minor cuts and scrapes. But really anything beyond that, it's not going to be able to handle a lot. It's first aid. It's made for basically to get you to the emergency room in case you need to. So having that is very important, but it also has things like moleskin, stuff like that, so that blisters and stuff like that doesn't get worse. Then, I know, hiding in this surprise Altoids tin, we have a ferrocerium rod and a lighter, just a small Bic lighter. I typically will bring some fire starting material in here, like lint or a designated fire starter. But having the ability to start a fire at all times is incredibly important in case you get stuck out in the middle of the night, or in case you get stuck in a scenario where you need to start an emergency fire to warm yourself or somebody up. Having those materials on you is incredibly, incredibly important. Now, coming in at number 4, we have a map and compass. More specifically, having a compass is very important to knowing which direction that you're traveling in, but also having a map and having an idea of the area that you're in is also incredibly important. This is just a simple map that I printed off the internet, and I laminated it to keep it somewhat water resistant, but they also sell waterproof maps as well. This is just a Sylvia Polaris. This is a very, very basic compass. I think I got this for maybe 10 or 12 bucks. But this is the bare basic, but having an idea of how to navigate it's a bit of a skill, but once you know it and once you understand it, you're way better off. You feel a lot more comfortable traveling out in the wilderness and finding where you are in case you feel like you're getting lost. Now, coming in at number 5, we have a headlamp or a candling device. You can have a headlamp, you can have a flashlight, you can even have a lantern, but something to provide light when it's dark out. Ideally, you want to have a headlamp because then your hands are free and everywhere you look, the light is pointing in that direction. But a flashlight and lantern will do if you are in a pinch. Coming in at number 6, we have just some extra food. If you're traveling out into the wilderness, if it's an emergency or whatever you're doing, having a little bit of extra food is incredibly important, especially if you're on a backpacking trip and you're traveling for a set distance, but you might get lost, anything like that. Having a little bit of extra food on you is always important in case you get stuck in a survival situation, in case you're not going to make it to your next meal in time. Just between these 2 packages, there's 500 calories right there. That'll give you a little bit extra energy to get where you need to go. Coming in at number 7, we just have a simple water bottle, just something to store water with. This could be a bladder, this could be just like an Nalgene bottle like this, or even one of those soft-sided water bottles as well. I like to carry these big 48-ounce Nalgenes because between the 2 of them, they fit in a standard backpack pocket, but also that gives you an extra liter of water, more than anybody else. So in case you get, yet again, in case you get stuck in a bad situation, you have an extra liter of water and you could drink as much as you really need to. Coming in at number 8, we just have some sun protection. I like, a lot of people will wear just simple baseball hats, and those work perfectly. I like to wear a bucket hat. This gives me a little bit more protection, and will actually even cover my neck a little bit, give me a bit more shade out of the sunlight. Basically, the idea of sun protection is you're gonna lose a lot of heat through your head, and the idea of sun protection is you're gonna lose a lot of water, and you're going to get burnt, and you're going to get a lot more delirious if you're not covered. The more shade you provide, the more cool your head is going to be, and that will be able to help prevent hyperthermia, which is the opposite of hypothermia, is when you get too hot, and sunstroke and sunburns, all that sort of stuff. Just basically covering your head and face, giving yourself a little bit extra protection. Then, rain protection. Having just a simple rain jacket like this, that'll help you feel more comfortable when you're out in the elements, keep your clothes dry, and also that'll help prevent hypothermia, which if you're sitting in cold, wet temperatures, you can deal with it for a little bit, but after a while, as that water starts to sap all of that heat from you, then it's going to be very hard to maintain a body temperature. You're going to start to get more and more cold, and basically without shelter, you're in an exposure situation. So having a little bit of extra rain protection, even if it's just a rain jacket to protect your torso, to keep your core nice and warm, and to keep your clothes under there dry, that's incredibly important to have. And then finally, on that note, in case you get wet, in case something rips or anything like that, having a little bit of extra clothing with you is very important. Here I just have a simple Techwick t-shirt, and then I have an extra pair of socks in case my shoes get wet, which is very common out in the wilderness. And if your feet are wet, then you're a lot more prone to blisters. Basically, your feet are your traveling device. So if your feet are all messed up, then you're going to be hurting really bad trying to travel a lot of miles if you're in an emergency or a survival situation. So these are just the simple 10 essentials that are outlined by the Boy Scouts of America, and I hope that these were helpful for anybody that is starting to venture out and go camping and go hiking or canoeing, anything like that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this makes you feel a little bit more comfortable when you're out in the woods, and these simple pieces of gear will help you stay a lot more safe. So be prepared, and I'll talk to you guys next time.